efforts to ensure that IDPs get protected from the effects of the harsh Harmattan cold on the upswing, as Borno State Governor passes night at IDPs camp distributing warm clothing. Nigerian Geological Survey Agency sets the record straight on alleged earthquake in Abuja Area Council of the FCT. Capacity building towards enhancing the fight against drug abuse brings key players together in Makurdi. All these and more to come on this Monday's edition of Panorama. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ian Ray John. The Supreme Court has adjourned all appeals on the 6 governorship election petitions pending before it to Tuesday, the 14th of this month. The states are Bauchi, Kano, Benue, Sokoto, Imo, and Plateau. To put the record straight, the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency has visited Abuja community site of the alleged earthquake said to have occurred on the 10th day of January 2020. Salihu Abdullahi was on the entourage that visited the community and filed in this report.
It was a busy weekend for the officials of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency. The activities here is preparatory to visit Abuja, the location of an alleged earthquake. The journey took the monitoring team through to the agency's monitoring center along the way. At the main campus of the University of Abuja,
nothing has happened in Abuja as far as this instrument is concerned, because it has not given us any signal. It has not recorded any event.
The need to harmonize these results boost the team's effort as they made it to Abuja town. Normal business activities were seen unhindered as residents, including the traditional ruler, owner of Abuja, shared their experiences.
There's not any earthquake in that. We haven't experienced this before. This is the first time that we're hearing from you people that there's something of that nature. So that's why people are here. I want to go and find out. We can't stop you. Even though you need some people to assist you there, we have many people that accompany you to that area. But you're not aware?
I was born here, grew up here. So I have never, for one day, heard about this.
I've no experienced that country here. Because I'm staying here almost 10 years now.
I never hear anything about quick. You call it earthquake.
This is Abatua, an extension of Abuja Area Council. According to the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency's GPS, this is the epicenter of the alleged 3.5 magnitude earthquake.
What struck me most is this: if it happened in Abuja, that impact will have affected somebody in Jere. But you see here, nobody is aware of that impact.
The devastation that could occur due to the magnitude of the alleged earthquake, according to the agency, could better be imagined in a community where normal daily activities were seen going on and the ecosystem intact. From Abuja Area Council, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And on health, the increasing rate of mental illness and other related physiological problems in the country have been attributed to the abuse of drugs and other harmful substances. This was the position of key players at an advocacy and sensitization of drug addicts in Benue State. Blessing Omeche Ebute has more.
Abuse has remained a worldwide problem with far-reaching consequences. Recent reports made available by the European Union reveals that an estimated 14.3 million people aged between 15 and 64 abuse drugs in Nigeria.
You also have social challenges. Some of them are actually withdrawn.
There is the economic cost on the addicts. The person is not functional, is not sociable, can't contribute to the community.
Benue State has had its own fair share in the fight against drug abuse, particularly among the youth who are in their most productive age. It is to stem the tide that the member representing Otukpo Ohimini Federal Constituency at the National Assembly, Lady Blessing Onu, in conjunction with the House Committee Chairman on Drugs and Narcotics, Francis Otagbo, a national drug law enforcement agency, took the advocacy to Ogodumu community in Adoka, Otukpo local government area of Benue State.
When the people are enlightened, it is going to help us to get a very vibrant and strong family.
They taught me that's the implication of hard drugs.
They called on the government to place ban on commonly abused drugs just like codeine and to ensure stringent punishments for offenders. From Ogodumu Adoka in Otukpo local government area, I am Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
And from Benue, we move to Borno, where for the first time in the history of insurgency in the northeast, a state governor will be passing the night in an IDP camp. That was exactly what the Borno State Governor, Babagana Umaru Zulum, did in Maiduguri, the state capital. And that's to enable him distribute blankets and other warm clothing materials to more than 1,600 persons to cushion the effect of the cold Harmattan. Maimuna Garba reports.
Babagana Umara's night visit was to identify with the IDPs in the Harmattan season with a view to giving them a sense of belonging. The visit also afforded Governor Babagana the opportunity to interact with them to get first-hand information on their conditions. 1,675 households received blankets, clothing materials and mats with assurance that government will rebuild their communities with a view to resettle and empower them to enable them return to normal life. The governor equally highlighted efforts of the federal government and the military to end the insurgency and tasked them to always identify and report suspicious persons, movement and activities to the security operatives. Executive Chairman Semaya Bawokolo called on the IDPs to pray for an end to security challenges in Borno. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Meanwhile, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji have neutralized more than 100 unrepentant bandits, including 6 of their key commanders in Anka, Bukiyum, Maru and Jibia local government areas of Zamfara. A statement from the Acting Force Information Officer of the operation, Captain Ayobami Oni Orison, says this followed the kinetic operation embarked upon by the troops as a result of the recent upsurge in the activities of the bandits who refused to embrace the peace initiative of Zamfara state government. The statement says the operation took place in the affected areas from December 16, 2019 to January 9, 2020, during which 10 persons held captive by the bandits were also rescued. Meanwhile, the troops of Operation Hadarin Daji, in collaboration with the defense forces of the Niger Republic, have apprehended a suspected high-profile gun runner who is allegedly responsible for the inflow of arms and ammunition to the region. The statement says the onslaught against the unrepentant bandits will continue until banditry is completely crushed and lasting peace restored to Zamfara, Katsina, Kebbi, and Sokoto states. If you just joined us, this is Panorama, live on the network service of the NTA. Time to take a break. Panorama returns shortly.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel.
Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Good to have you back. The plight of the almajiri children in northern Nigeria is receiving attention of key players in humanitarian service. Joshua Ojito reports that the wife of Kebbi State Governor Aisha Atiku Bagudu is leading the advocacy to take 20,000 almajiri children out of the streets and give them quality education.
Addressing plight of the almajiri children and give them equal opportunities in the society. Joined in the advocacy is the wife of the Vice President, Dolakwa Oshimbajo, with the support of other development partners who say access to quality education is a right of every child in the country and the campaign should be supported by all.
Look at his feet. Has he got shoes? Look at his hands. Does he have any food? Look at his mouth. Is it smiling or crying or is it begging? On his body, if only you would look, does he have clothes or rags or barely a covering? Look into his mind. Has he had an education or not?
Do not forget to clothe a child. Do not forget to give a child a shelter. And also, do not forget to adopt a child.
Since the initiative was introduced 10 years ago by the wife of Kebbi State Governor Aisha Atiku Bagudu, thousands of almajiri children and other less privileged in Kebbi State are said to have benefited from mass literacy and empowerment program that have changed their lives. In Abuja, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Moving on, traditionally, various humanitarian activities are organized in the days preceding Nigeria's Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Correspondent Najato Tijana reports on two of such activities organized by the Nigerian Army and the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DEPOA.
It is easy to think these are traders in a marketplace. Far from it. They are widows of soldiers who paid the ultimate price defending Nigeria's territorial integrity. Now, the memory of their husbands lingers as they in turn are remembered by the Defense Headquarters and Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association as part of activities in the run-up to the 2020 Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
We believe very well that it's going to go a long way to assist the widows of our fallen heroes.
This committee is the brainchild of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Gabriel Olonshakin, who has seen the plight of our widows and decided to come to their help.
In making life worth living for families of our fallen heroes who have laid down their lives for the security, peace, and unity of our dear country, Nigeria.
Chioma Omerua, an award-winning comedian, understands the pain of these widows.
Because it's something to just sort of like sometimes give words and say things, but what can we do to actually make an impact?
While the memory of the departed remains painful for the ones left behind, the message is clear. They will not be forgotten. On a lighter note, the Nigerian Army organized the West African Social Activities WASA as part of activities marking the Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
For the display he's going to do. The bag of cement is up. Here we can see him taking the steps. Next slow march.
And it is the responsibility of all Nigerians to watch over these families because they are men and they are women.
or their breadwinners fell in the line of duty to secure our country, to secure other parts of the world, so that you and me can sleep in quiet and peace.
The West African social activities has also become an avenue where convention and union showcase its achievement. In this note, I wish to state with all sense of humility that we have been able to achieve the brigade's training objective for the year 2019.
The activities provide an avenue for the soldiers to down arms and relax for a moment. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
And on education, Kano State Government is evolving additional strategies to ensure successful implementation of its free and compulsory education program. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje disclosed this while distributing instructional materials to primary schools across the 44 local government areas of the state. Abdullahi Mustafa brings us details.
The instructional materials, including exercise and textbooks, school registers and other essential needs, are procured to promote enrollment and retention of pupils in public primary schools across Kano State. This is part of measures to ensure that not only abolition fees and levies, pupils are given learning materials free of charge. Also, to promote effective service delivery, 200 teachers were identified in various parts of the state who distinguished themselves through punctuality and commitment to duty. Each of them was presented a check of 100,000 naira as an appreciation and morale booster. More measures, Governor Ganduje assured, will be put in place to ensure that no child is out of school in Kano.
We have taken data on the physical output of our schools. The schools that require renovation, rehabilitation, and the schools where we need additional classrooms.
Chairman, Kano State Universal Basic Education Board, Dalami Hayu, informed the governor that a strong monitoring team has been appointed to enhance performance. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And away from education now, January is seen as a month of new beginnings and for reflecting on the successes of the past year. Most importantly, plans are made on how to move forward. To this end, NTA StarTimes held its end-of-year awards to acknowledge the staff for their efforts in the growth of the business and the economy at large. High hopes were cited for the company and the country in the new year. Abdul Karim Zurmi has more.
It was a day of many reflections and achievements for the StarTimes crew, as the end-of-year awards was in full swing in celebration of the reward for their hard work. DG NTA Yakubu Ibn Muhammad was present at the event, urging the awardees to strive to become better and adhere to their strengths for national development.
So I expect that in the year 2020, you will all be more committed, you will all be more focused, you will all be more powerful.
CEO of StarTimes, Justin Zhang, was obviously proud of the successes they had in the previous year 2019. While praising the awardees and those present, he expressed hope that this celebration would inspire them to be more committed and reach for greater heights.
Last year, we got the big, very good performance on the operation performance. So I think we need to celebrate for our performance in this annual meeting.
Prizes were also presented by the DG of NTA and the CEO of StarTimes to the winners at the annual end-of-year awards segment of the event. In Abuja, Abdul Karim Zurmi, NTA News.
In other news, the decision of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board to suspend the National Identity Number as a prerequisite for UTME has been welcomed by prospective candidates in Taraba State. Joseph Zana Gambo reports.
The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAMB made it mandatory for intending candidates for the 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination to obtain a National Identity Number, NIN, to be eligible to register for the examination.
They're supposed to tell us these things since before the time, because even though you come here, you not get it in time. Even though you feel everything, they will tell you that it will come until maybe 2 to 3 months before you will get.
They have to give some time for people to acknowledge that something like this will go on, like maybe an interval of 1 year or 2 years, so that people will prepare to come and register for the national identity card.
But the state coordinator of the commission, Moses Mamedu, was able to allay their fears.
There is no CBT center where JAM will be conducted that is far away, far more than 6 kilometers, and you will not find a NIMSI registration center there, at least to make it easy for any candidate sitting for that examination to ensure that you get your name.
The staff of the commission were busy and ever determined to effectively cover all the intending candidates in Jalingo. Joseph Zanagambo, NTA.
And going spiritual now, it has been 10 days since pilgrims from Taraba State, northeast Nigeria, visited the Holy Land to fulfill their spiritual rejuvenation. Ruth Aguela reports that for the pilgrims, it was a moment of nostalgia as they make their last tour.
Typical on a journey like this, they have walked, toiled, and even become one big family in the past few days. To crown the tour, Kano in Galilee was the first site on the checklist, a place where Jesus performed his first miracle at a wedding when he turned water into wine, as written in the Holy Book. This church was built 140 years ago over the original structures to commemorate the event and to preserve the remains. As the place of the first miracle, they said, people usually don't leave without making a wish from God. Mount Tabor was next, said to be the highest mountain in South Galilee, where this church is standing tall, about 2,000 feet below sea level, built in 1924 to commemorate the transfiguration of Jesus Christ after his resurrection. For the pilgrims, it was time to seek the divine face of God.
It is good that we are here.
With a feeling of nostalgia, the pilgrims took time to reminisce as they bid the holy city farewell.
It has been so wonderful from the beginning up to this moment where we have followed the path of the Christ. It has really built my faith.
This is my first time of coming to Jerusalem. My life going home, I know Jesus has helped me.
I have read, I have seen, and I have taught. It increased my faith. If I go back home, I will be a complete church person in my life.
We say that it is a journey into the Holy Land, but it is also a journey into yourselves as pilgrims. It's something that strengthens you.
They have come, they have seen, and they have conquered. And yes, they will meet all the places Jesus once touched, once walked, but for them, it is a life-changing experience that will linger on for a very long time. From Nazareth, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ruth. Let's now talk sports. Nigeria Football Federation targets grassroots development. Tamara Ebiwe will feed us with more on Sports Update.
Lobby Stars of Makurdi beat MFM by a lone goal Sunday in matchday 14 to move to the top of the Nigeria Professional Football League table, as Plateau United go to second place after a goalless draw against Aqua United in Jos. Dakada FC beat Rivers United 2-1, while Wiki Tourist lost 2-1 to Sunshine Stars in Akure. For a more successful footballing career for players within and outside the country, the Nigeria Football Federation says its unrelenting efforts at grassroots development will begin to yield results in the coming years. The reason the Federation focuses more on age-grade competitions.
With this kind of attitude we have of bringing young players to graduate to the senior teams, we are likely to, in very near future, to see more Nigerian players doing very well.
Football clubs within Oyo State, including Nigeria Union of Journalists and National Youth Service Corps, are set to compete in the maiden Sunday Dare Oyo Unity Cup, built to kick off January 25 in Ogbomosho. Lukman Hassan reports that the draws for the 3-week competition in Ogbomosho produced 4 groups with 16 clubs from the 14 federal constituencies of the state.
The project is aimed to promote or to discover young talent in football in particular.
In tennis, Serena Williams won her first title in 3 years and first since becoming a mother with a 6-3, 6-4 victory over fellow American Jessica Pegula at the Auckland Classic on Sunday. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic inspired Serbia to victory in the inaugural ATP Cup as his 6-2, 7-6 singles win over Rafael Nadal helped his country beat Spain 2-1 in Sydney on Sunday. With sports update, Tamara Ibiwe, NTA News.
And just before we go, let's quickly take a peep at the weather prospect. And that's Panorama today. Many thanks for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.